Sup, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Flea Flicker, where we will be giving our picks for Week 14 of the NFL season. I am Timmy B, along with my co-host Joey D right over there. Joey D, man, how are you doing? And we say this every week, but dude, it's Week 14. The season's going by so fast.
Tim, it's coming to a close, man. I'm already looking ahead a little bit to next season.
Oh,
Some of the away games that the Eagles have to see if there's any that would be kind of cool to go to. Not a lot on there, but there's one that stood out to me that I think I might have to make the move. The Eagles are going to be in Indianapolis next year,
oh.
so I think that I might try to see if Trent wants to go to that. We go see the villain himself, Carson Wentz, in person, and hopefully we take him down. I think that would be a lot of fun. I've never been to Indianapolis, and neither has Trent, this Colts fan, fake Colts fan. I'm just kidding. He's a diehard. So yeah, that's kind of been what's up with me, Tim? What about you, man? You ready for Spider-Man? We were just talking
Dude,
about it,
I
dude.
am so ready for Spider-Man. We'll definitely have to talk on off screen as well about our recordings for next week because I'll be seeing it on Thursday. My friend is a big Spider-Man fan, stayed up till like 3:30, 4 a.m. to get tickets Thursday night. So very happy she did that and not me. So, dude, I am so pumped. I'm doing good. And we are ready to make some picks. But before that, Joe, we have Thursday night football. My apologies, folks. We did do a recap on week 13 and we did make our pick. And then in editing, something jumbled up or something. So it wasn't as good. So I do apologize. But the Vikings defeated the Steelers 36-28. Joey D, you picked the Vikings. I picked the Steelers. So you got the game up on me. But this game was a blowout in the first half. It was 23-0 at halftime. I thought the Steelers were dead. They came back as they normally do in the fourth quarter, as we saw last week against the Ravens. And then they were in a position. They were in a position to at least tie the game, or at least get the tying touchdown with the 2-point conversion ensuing. But they were not stopping Dalvin Cook. Joe, Dalvin Cook feasted over 200 yards, couple
Yeah.
of touchdowns. Justin Jefferson had a touchdown early on in the game. KJ Osborne had a very nice deep touchdown as well. And Chase Claypool cost them probably 10 seconds, give or take, which could have been 2 whole plays by celebrating on a 4th down while the clock was still running. But also at the end of the day, Pat Freiermuth, you got to hold on to that ball in the end zone. Great defense, way to get that ball out of there with a hit by the Vikings. So the Vikings pull away with the win, probably kind of eliminates the Steelers more or less. They're so mathematically in it, but that's an uphill climb for them while the Vikings help their wild card chances and their playoff chances in the NFC. Joe, what were your thoughts from this Vikings Steelers Thursday night game?
I was shocked that Dalvin was playing, first of all, but I was more shocked to see him just go off and, look better than he has. I mean, I think this was like his best
Yeah,
game of the season so far, one of the
easily,
best of his
easily.
career. Um, so I was very surprised that that's kind of how that played out. But then, with the Steelers, I was shocked that they were getting blown out like they were. Just, this is not a great Vikings defense, and they could not get anything going on offense.
Yeah,
And then, we've talked about the Vikings struggles this year in terms of finishing and letting teams come back, because the Vikings always start hot and
right.
then let teams come back, and more often than not they lose. So, it was kind of looking like it was leaning that direction. And who knows if that whole Chase Claypool situation goes differently, which, I'm so glad I don't have a guy like that on the Eagles. I mean, I hate that so much. Like, just, making it more about yourself than the team, and then not even taking accountability and owning up to it in the post game presser, just trying to put the blame on other people. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got benched early in the game by Mike Tomlin for doing something similar, and then he goes and does it again in even more crucial situations. So just a complete lack of awareness. And, I'm sure that's something that Mike Tomlin does not want at all on his team. And, he's probably going to be having some hard conversations with Chase Claypool. But it's kind of the way the Steelers season has gone this year. Nothing's really
Yeah.
gone their way.
Yeah, and this is not a good couple of weeks because even last week, Chase Claypool was in the news about him wanting maybe music and practice to make practice a little bit
Yeah.
more fun. So not a good couple of weeks, but the Vikings do get the win. And Joe, week 14, we got to make some picks. Are you ready to make some picks?
I'm ready, Tim. Are you ready to try to come back against me, man? You're down by a lot.
I
Not
know,
said,
I
not done
know, I
yet.
know. And the Steelers let me down as they always do. They beat the Ravens, and then when I pick them, they lose. But hey, I'll take a Steelers loss any day of the week. But before we hop into our picks, Joe, make sure you hit that thumbs up button to like this and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. First game, Joe. We got the Seahawks. I almost said the Titans, but we got the Seahawks at the Texans. A little cross-conference matchup. The Seahawks are an 8.5-point road favorite. The over-under is 40.5. Joe, the Seahawks got a huge win at home last week against the 49ers. Russ seems to be getting a little bit back to speed, as we saw coming back from the finger a little bit earlier. Struggled a little bit, seemed to pick it up last week a little bit more. They're playing the Texans. This is a game that they obviously need to win. Can they do it, though? Will they win?
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks in this one, Tim. I mean, I don't even think Tyrod Taylor's playing in this game. I could be
Probably
wrong,
not,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Davis Mills that's a go. Even if Tyrod was playing, I'd still probably take the Seahawks in this one. I mean, they're desperate. Russ is not a guy accustomed to losing, and I think he's playing angry right now, and
Yeah.
just telling Pete Carroll and their offensive coordinator, we need to be passing, especially when we don't have decent running backs back here. I mean, we've got Alex Collins, Rashad Penny, Adrian Peterson is injured now. He's not playing, so I think Russ is going to be throwing a lot this game. This Texans defense has been opportunistic, so if they're able to kind of take advantage of some Russ miscues that we've seen a little bit more often this season. Could be a closer game, but
Yeah.
I just don't really anticipate this Texans offense being able to move the ball very much, even though it's not a great Seattle defense. No Jamal Adams going on the IR, which, again, not a great trade for Seattle, not a great move at all. So I'm sure they're regretting that, but even with or without him, this defense has not been good, but I still think that they're up to the task of containing Davis Mills in this Texans offense.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks as well. The Texans are just a bad football team, and I don't see them winning this game. And now we got a divisional matchup, Joe, the first of 7 divisional matchups in Week 14, getting down to the nitty-gritty here of the NFL season. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are an 8.5-point home favorite, and the over-under is 43.5, excuse me. Joe, we've seen the Jaguars pull off a couple of wins. We've seen the Titans have a couple of bad losses. They lost to the Texans at home. They lost to the Jets. Can the Jaguars pull it off against the Titans, or are they going to do Titan business after a bye week and get a win?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a close game. This isn't one I feel great about, but I'm still going to take the Titans simply because they're the more talented team. We've seen them be successful. Jacksonville has struggled all season. I mean, I saw a stat today about Gardner Minshew's stats in his first, 14 career starts versus Trevor Lawrence. Gardner Minshew blows Trevor out of the water in those stats, which, of course he would, mustache mania. I like you said, Titans have dropped some games to bad teams though, with the Jets, with the Texans. This is a divisional game, so I could see this being a close game. I'm not picking the Jaguars to do it. I mean, the Titans have something to play for. Jaguars do not. This shouldn't be tough for the Titans. I just think they'll make it a little bit more tough on themselves. But Julio might be back this week, so that would be a big help.
Yeah, I'm going with the Titans as well. I think it's going to be a close game. In that Texans loss, they had 5 turnovers. They still outgained them by like 300 yards in that game. So as long as they can manage the turnovers and hold on to the football, the Titans are going to win this game. And I think they're going to play pretty conservatively because they need the win. So just get the win, turnover free, win this game. The Jaguars are very certainly capable of forcing some turnovers and can make it interesting. I think the Titans win in a very close game, Joe. So I'm going with the Titans as well.
Tim, real quick, let's get a celebrity pick. Brooke, who's gonna win? Titans versus Jaguars. Titans from Brooke Dennis.
Whoa.
We're all on the Titans. It's just that easy.
We're all on the Titans. So that means the Jaguars are going to win.
F Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, good.
Watch that profanity, Miss Dennis. There are kids who watch this show.
Yeah. Whew. I don't know what we got to do about your wife, Joe, but that's bad language.
I know. Swears like a sailor, I tell you.
Oh, Brooke.
I'm just kidding. She's so sweet. I didn't say this. This isn't recorded or anything.
Yeah, no, we are just making picks for fun. But the next game, another Southern Division matchup. We get the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are a 3.5 point, or I'm sorry, just a 3 point home favorite. The over/under is 41.5. Joe, I really don't like this game. I don't really know if I want to make a pick, but we got to make a pick of the Falcons and Panthers. What are your thoughts, and who's your pick?
Yeah, I don't love this either. Panthers started off well, but have been reeling. Cam had one okay game, one horrendous game. No McCaffrey. The Falcons don't have much going for him either. It's just tough, but I
I
think
know.
I'm going to go with the Panthers because they're at home. I like what I have seen out of Matt Rule more over the course of his tenure in Carolina than Arthur Smith. Um, so yeah, I think this will be a close one. It could go either way. I mean, I could definitely see the Falcons winning this one. But I'll take the Panthers. I also am starting Chuba Hubbard and I think Amir
Ah,
Abdullah in one league. So I've got both of the Panthers running backs starting in the same league. I am all in on that run game against the Falcons. So let's go Panthers. Keep pounding, baby. Shout out
I
Fab.
I'm I don't like this, Joe, but I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons to win this
I figured
football
you would.
game.
Yeah,
I
you got to catch up,
I
Tim.
got to catch up. I got to go opposite with you on a couple of picks here. I think it all comes down to Matt Ryan. I think just that veteran quarterback right there. I think he'll be able to maybe not pick apart the defense because Carolina has a very good defense, but he'll do enough where he's not turning the ball over. Mike Davis actually had a pretty good running game last week. So if they can get him going a little bit more, wouldn't be shocked if the Falcons pull off this win. So I'm going with the Falcons. I don't feel good about it. So we're just moving on to the next game. We
Let's
got
go.
the New Orleans Saints at the New York Jets. The Saints are a 5.5 point road favorite. Over under is 43. Alvin Kamara seems to be back. I think he is on track and will play on Sunday at the Jets. The Jets, as we know, Joe, we talked about this last week with the Eagles, certainly capable of winning at home. They've beaten the Titans at home. They've beaten the Bengals at home. Then they lose the Eagles at home pretty badly to Gardner Minshew. I like the Saints in this one. I think Alvin Kamara coming back is huge. They're going to feed him, feed him, feed him. And it could be like a Dalvin Cook that we saw Thursday night, come back from injury and explode. I'm going with the Saints. I think their defense is going to force a couple of turnovers. They're going to run the ball with Kamara, and the Saints are going to come out with the win. Joe, thoughts on who's your pick?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Tim. I'll take the Saints in this one. I mean, this Jets defense is bad, so I think that'll really help Taysom Hill or Trevor Simeon, whoever's the starter, just be able to take advantage of that. I mean, there were people running wide open for Gardner Minshew, so I think the Saints' offense should be fine, and their defense is really good, and just a very sound and veteran unit led by Malcolm Jenkins. So I think that they'll be able to force some turnovers, control Zach Wilson and this Jets offense while, the Eagles were not able to in the first half. In the second half, they shut them down completely. I think the Saints defense is well equipped to do that as well. So give me the Saints in a pretty easy one.
Oh, yeah. We're going with the Saints. Now we're going away back to another divisional matchup. We got three big divisional matchups coming up, Joe, starting off with the first one in the AFC North. We got my Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. Right now, the Browns are a 3 point favorite, and the over-under is 42.5. Joe, I really don't feel confident in the Ravens right now. We don't have Marlon Humphrey. We don't have any cornerbacks. We don't have a secondary. Baker Mayfield, while he's injured as well, he can still make a couple of passes. We do have Chuck Clark behind there, but he's banged up a little bit. And I think another thing, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago when we played the Browns, and even last week when we played the Steelers, our offensive line is just so bad. Like, we cannot block. Like, we left TJ Watt just wide open so many times. Now we're going up against Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. I am going to be picking against the Ravens here, Joe. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. How about yourself?
Tim, I was also thinking about taking the Browns, but for the sake of variety and to give you a chance, I'll take the Ravens in this one, Timmy B.
Well, I hope
I
you're
think
right. I hope you're right.
I know. I'm sure you do. I just feel like Lamar and Harbaugh. I mean, it's a better combination than Stefanski and Baker. I mean, who can Baker throw the ball to that's going to exploit this defense? I mean, I'm not that worried about Jarvis Landry breaking off like a huge play. He'll probably be getting some third down targets, but now we're talking Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashard Higgins,
Yeah.
Anthony Shorts. If you
David
can just
Njoku, like
exactly. I mean, just keep
Austin
keep
Hooper.
these guys in front of you. and, just force them to win in the pass. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can shut down Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, this Ravens defense has been able to do that in the past. They've also gotten victimized by it in the past. So it'll be interesting to see which Ravens team shows up. Um, there are so many injuries that they have to overcome. That's definitely my biggest concern and why I would probably pick the Browns. But like I said, I gotta get some variety. Got to change it up. Give you a chance, Tim. And I think it's one that the Ravens can absolutely win.
Yeah, and you said it as well. And this is a big thing in Baltimore. As long as we have Lamar Jackson, we're going to be in every game. We got John Harbaugh, we got Justin Tucker. So we got some of these guys. So as long as they're healthy and playing, we should be in every single game. But I'm just going with the Browns here, a little emotional hedge, maybe to gain myself a game. And then another big AFC divisional matchup going out west now, I guess kind of Midwest, but we got the Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 9.5 point favorite, Joe. Over under is 48. Raiders did get a huge win at the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They lost to the football team. They've lost a couple of games before Thanksgiving. Chiefs are kind of the opposite. They're winning a bunch of games. They're winning by defense, though, not so much Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, and all these guys, exploding on offense. They're winning a lot of these games 24-10, defense forcing some turnovers, getting, some pick sixes and stuff. But then we got the Raiders coming into town to Kansas City. Joe, thoughts on who's your pick in this game?
Yeah, I think this will be a close game as well. I mean, this defense for the Chiefs has been really good the second half of the season. I just don't know how sustainable that is, especially as you go up against better offenses and offenses that are familiar with you and the way that you
Mm,
play things like Derek Carr. So I think that this could be a game where the Chiefs have to score some points to keep up because we've seen Derek Carr in the past be able to put up a lot of points over 30 against the Chiefs when they had a better defense. So,
right.
that's definitely my concern that we haven't seen that Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Chiefs offense really go off, much this year. So I think this is going to be a game where there's a lot of pressure on Kansas City, and which Chiefs team will we see? I mean, will the defense be top of the game and be able to hold the Raiders to very few points, and the offense doesn't have to do a lot?
Mhm.
Or is this a game where the offense will be asked to put the game on their shoulders and go out and win it? Um, I'm going to take the Chiefs. The Raiders have been reeling. I mean, they just lost to Washington. They struggled against the Giants. Did they lose to the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah, they lost to the Giants. I mean, they beat Dallas. I've talked on in length about why I believe Dallas is fraudulent. So I'm not I'm not giving them too much credit for that one. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. They should be able to win this, but again, I think this is a game where it could be a really good game and a high scoring game, and the Chiefs have to turn into that other version in order to win. Which when that pressure is on, that's when we sometimes see those turnovers. So it'll be interesting how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going with the Chiefs as well. I just think the Raiders are kind of not dead, but they're just kind of treading right there, especially with their interim head coach. So I'm going with the Chiefs in this one. And Joe, you just mentioned the Cowboys. They're going on the road to the football team, a huge matchup in the NFC East. The Cowboys are a 4.5 point road favorite. Over under is 48. Joe, you're the expert on the NFC East. What are your thoughts on this game and who's your pick?
Tim, Washington has been playing so well recently. I mean, this defense has stepped up. Heineke is not turning the ball over. McLaurin's doing well. Antonio Gibson's really playing at a very high level
Mhm.
right now. No Logan Thomas, unfortunately. He came back for one game, who I started in fantasy that one week, and now he's on IR. So I'll take it, Logan Thomas. But it's Ricky Seals Jones time in Washington for the tight end group. I'm going to take Washington to win. This is my upset, Timmy B. I think that Washington and Dallas will probably split these two games that they play at the end of the season. I think probably same with Philadelphia and Washington, which is going to make a very interesting finish to the season in terms of that division. So I just feel like Dallas, there's so much pressure on them. They started off so well. All the media is hyping them up, Super Bowl picks, whatever. They got to win their own division first. They got to take care of business. This is a game they should be able to win. Will they? I don't think so, Tim. This is a game that that Dallas typically finds a way to lose. And again, this Washington defense is playing at such a high level. I think that they're going to be able to force some turnovers, keep it close. And if Heineke can take care of the ball on his end and this Washington offense can win time of possession and be efficient, then I think that they'll be able to win this game. So give me Washington. Dallas is going down, and the implosion is here, Tim. We are in the midst of it, and I am living for it.
Joe, this is a Flea Flicker first. The football team is also my upset of the week as well. I really
Ooh,
like them here in this game at home. I agree with you. I think they will be splitting, but I'm going with the football team in this one. And you said it, Taylor Heineke. He doesn't really turn the ball over. The offense is really gelling. The defense is really gelling as well right now, too. So as long as they don't turn the ball over, I see them winning this game. Hopefully it doesn't come down to kickers because football teams have some issues with kicking, but I like Taylor Heineke to pull off the upset against the Cowboys at home to once again make the NFC East last week of the game, last week of the year, probably that Sunday Night Football. We're all going to have to watch some 8-8 Cowboys Eagles for the division again.
let's
uh,
go.
but enough about that. We're moving on to the 4 o'clock slate now. First game, we got the Detroit Lions coming off their first win of the season. They are at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are a 10.5-point favorite. The over/under is 42. Joe, this is my lock of the week. I'm going with the Denver Broncos as my lock of the
Wow.
week. Rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas, a great wide receiver, Pro
Yeah.
Bowl, Super Bowl champion. Unfortunately, passed away the other day. They're going to be honoring him. They're going to be wearing decals. The power of Demaryius Thomas is going to lift this Broncos offense to score a couple more touchdowns than they normally do, move the ball. They're playing the Lions. I think the defense will be able to contain Jared Goff and actually cover if they do get in a situation, unlike the Vikings secondary. So I'm going with the Denver Broncos as my lock of the week. Joe, thoughts on who's your pick?
Tim, I don't know if I'd have this as a lock. I do love your reasoning for it with that the
Mhm.
Demarius Thomas energy, kind of to honor him. Um, so I definitely think that there is going to be some more energy and some more passion out of these Broncos this week. But I mean, the Lions have been playing better. They've been feeding Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think we're gonna have. I don't know who the running back is going to be. DeAndre
Mhm.
Swift is out. I think Jamal Williams on the COVID list. He's out. Um, so I think this all and Hawkinson, I believe, is out as well. So I just don't see this Lions offense being able to move the ball really much at all. So yeah, I'll take the Broncos as well in this one. But Broncos offense is they're not great. Teddy Bridgewater is not great. So I could see the Lions defense kind of keeping them in this game a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see that as well. But I'm going with the Broncos lock of the week. My Brock of the week, let's just say that. But now we got a game on the West Coast. We got the Giants and the LA Chargers. Chargers are a 9.5-point home favorite. Over under is 43. And Joe, we talked about this in the distorted recap. The Chargers are so inconsistent. One week we think they're really good. The other week we don't think that, they're not as good. Then they win a big game, then they lose one. Big winning at the Bengals last week. So I could definitely see them laying an egg here against the Giants, but I don't think they're getting the job done. Joe, what about yourself? Do you think the Giants can go into LA and get a win, or do you think their season is kind of done and over?
Yeah, I think the Giants are done, Tim. I mean, we got Mike Glennon going in there once again.
Oh,
So
okay.
that to me, is really says it all. I mean, if Daniel Jones is playing, maybe they have a little bit of a chance. I mean, I just don't think very highly of this roster overall. So I think that, Chargers, like you said, they just beat the Bengals. They've had a lot of big wins this season. This is a game that they've got to be able to put the Giants away and do it resoundingly. So I think the Chargers do so. This is my lock of the week, Tim. Give me the
Oh,
Chargers over the Giants in an easy one.
yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. I think this will be bad. And now moving on to the team that they beat last week, the Cincinnati Bengals. They got the San Francisco 49ers coming into town. 49ers are a 1.5-point road favorite. Over under is 48.5. Joe, curious to hear your thoughts on this game. 49ers are a road favorite at the Bengals. We know Joe Burrow's finger. He probably will be playing. How much will he be throwing? I don't know. But we got 49ers Bengals thoughts. Who's your pick, Joe?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals in this one. I'm surprised that the 49ers are favorited. I mean, no Elijah Mitchell. So we've got Jeff Wilson and Jamichael Hasty, I think. Um, Debo is questionable. He hasn't practiced much this week. So even if he goes, I'm just not sure how effective that he'll be. And I think that this Bengals defense can slow down George Kittle. And, I think that that's the big key. I mean, are they going to let George Kittle just go off against them and keep them in this
Right.
game? I don't really see that happening this week. And then, like you said, Joe Burrow, is that hand all right? I think he's fine. He was able to keep throwing the ball against the Chargers last week when it happened. So I think a week with some rest, he'll be just fine. And this Bengals offense will be able to exploit a very shaky 49ers secondary.
Yeah, I am going opposite on you on this one, Joe. I'm going with the 49ers. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to draw up some very good offensive schemes. I think they're going to get the ball to George Kittle again. Debo Samuel seems to be returning, so we'll get him the ball as well. I like the 49ers, and I do think that Joe Burrow finger injury is a little bit, I don't want to say serious, but I think it's going to hurt him a little bit more this week. So I'm going with the 49ers in this one. Hopefully I can get a couple more games on you, Joe. So I got to go with the 49ers here
We'll
against the
see.
Bengals. And hey, if you're right with the Ravens and I'm right with this one, that's just even better for the Ravens to solidify the division. And uh, big game of the day. We got the Buffalo Bills at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At the start of the season, we maybe thought, hey, week 14, kind of like last year, Chiefs Bucks, potential Super Bowl matchup. I picked the Bills and Bucks as my Super Bowl in our preseason pick show. But right now, we got the Bucks a 3.5-point home favorite. Over under is 53.5. Bills desperately need this win, Joe, but can they pull it off?
Tim, one of these teams is getting hot at the right time. One of these teams is getting cold. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for that reason. Bucks get hot in November and December. Tom Brady does this year in and year out. Bills, there are a lot of really high expectations for them this year, and they've really faltered. It's definitely going to be. Oh, and Tim, I just got a Bleacher Report update that there are questions about Urban Meyer's future in Jacksonville.
Ooh.
A lot of anger and not like players that are not pleased and raising their voices and concerns in that locker room, which I definitely think is legit, especially when the only significant win they really have this year is against those goddamn Buffalo Bills when I picked the Buffalo Bills in my survivor pool. So screw the Buffalo Bills. Let's go Buccaneers. We already know they're not going to run the ball, number one, because they don't have a run game, and number two, because this Buccaneers defense is so good at stopping the run. So I think that they're just going to be throwing it all game. And, Josh Allen has turned the ball over a little bit more often this season than he did last year. Tom Brady's been great taking care of the ball. Playoff Lenny, he's getting hot. Chris Godwin, 14 catches over 100 yards last week. Like Gronkowski, 2 touchdowns. I mean, this Bills defense has been struggling when, one of their best defensive players, their best cover guy, Tre'Davious White, went down. So I just don't see how they're going to be able to slow down this Bucs offense. And, like I said, they're cold. I'm not taking Buffalo, Tim. Not doing it.
Yeah, I can't pick the Bills either, Joe. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big thing, Tom Brady versus the Bills, probably like 37-3 against them in his lifetime. I don't know the exact number, but
Pretty
that
good.
sounds about right. Buccaneers getting hot at the right time. Tom Brady in December. Give me the Bucks to win this one. Sunday night football, big divisional matchup. We got the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are a 12.5-point home favorite. Over under is 43. Probably Aaron Rodgers' last time playing the Bears in a Packers uniform. Maybe last time playing the Bears for the next handful of years as well, depending on where he goes. But do the Bears stand a chance? Justin Fields seems to be starting, seems to be healthy again with his rib injury. But Joe, it's Bears Packers. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, as
That's
he
right.
claimed a couple of weeks ago. I got to go with the Packers in this one, Joe. But is this going to be a close game, blowout? Who's your pick? What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. I don't think it'll be that close of a game. Packers defense has really turned things around and gotten a lot better down the stretch. This Bears offense, Allen Robinson might be back. We'll see how effective he is. Justin Fields, he's struggled a lot of this season and he's flashed a little bit, but hasn't really shown that consistency that you need to see out of your starting quarterback.
Right.
So I think that there's going to be a big dose of David Montgomery this game.
Ooh,
Try
okay.
to run the ball, take it out of Justin Fields' hands, take it out of Rodgers' hands while winning time of possession and play some solid defense. I just don't think that that's going to be enough to keep up with the Packers in this offense. I mean, Aaron Jones is back. Devontae Adams still there. I Rodgers is, is this toe injury even real, Tim? I haven't been able to notice a difference when he's played. So I give me the Packers. This was almost my lock of the week, but I forgot about them and went with the Chargers. So yeah.
All right, I'm going with the Packers too. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be close. But now we got another good Monday night football game, another good division matchup. We got the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, the Cardinals are a 2.5-point favorite. Over under is 51.5. Joe, who do you like in this game?
It's a tough one, Tim. I think it could go either way, but
Yeah.
Cardinals have been playing so well. I mean, we've seen a lot of inconsistencies out of the Rams. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one, Tim. We've just seen them continue to play well when Kyler Murray is in, when he's not in, when DeAndre Hopkins is in, when he's not in. With the Rams, I mean, didn't they had to put their backup in the last game, I think, for a play or two. So I don't know how healthy Stafford is. No Robert Woods. Darrell Henderson is not 100%. So I just feel like there's a lot of things not really going in the Rams' favor in this game. I think Jalen Ramsey will do well against DeAndre Hopkins, but this Cardinals offense has so many different ways that they can win. Yeah, give me the Cardinals. I think that they win this one. I think it'll be a good game, though.
Yeah, Joe, I am going with the Rams in this one. I'm going opposite of you to see if I can get another game or two on you. I like the way the Rams are playing. Haven't won too much recently. They blew out the Jaguars last week. Couple of tough losses to Green Bay right beforehand. But I think a key thing is week 3, they beat the Buccaneers. 3-0. Everybody thought the Rams were going to be the best team in the NFL. The next week, Arizona Cardinals come into town, blow them out of the water, 37-20. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, they remember what Kyler Murray did to them. So I'm going with the Rams in this one. Also a key. I mean, the Cardinals are 6-0, 7-0 on the road. They at home, apparently they just don't want to win. A couple of their losses this year have been at home. I'm going with the Rams in this one. It's going to be a very fun game to watch. Definitely excited. Hopefully we do get the Manning cast. I don't know if they'll be doing it or not, but very excited for the Rams Cardinals Monday night game. So I'm going with the Rams in that one. So to recap, Joe, we both have the Washington football team as our upset of the week over the Dallas Cowboys. I got the Denver Broncos as my lock of the week against the Lions, and you have the Chargers as your lock of the week against the Giants. But that'll wrap it up for week 14 picks. Joey D, any final words or thoughts going into week 14?
Not really about week 14, but week 15 on Saturday the 18th is
Oh.
Mrs. Brooke Dennis's birthday. So if I am not available to record then, Tim, I apologize, but I'll be wishing my wife a happy birthday and scrambling to find a present for her.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm just kidding. I already got the present.
A great birthday present. We got 2 NFL games next Saturday. We got the Raiders
right.
and Browns. Good matchup. We got the Patriots and Colts both coming off a bye. So those will be a great game so Brooke can watch and enjoy her birthday watching some NFL with her husband.
That's right. Just after we watch the new Spider-Man, Tim.
Woo! All righty, folks. Well, that is Joey D over there, and I'm Timmy B. Best of luck to your fantasy teams, your real teams, the teams you hate. Hopefully, maybe they lose as well. If you have an upset or lock of the week, let us know, and hopefully they win as well, as long as there are upsets and locks of the week. But we will see you in a couple of days. Peace.